Okay guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies coming at you with another hobby tutorial. This is back to my normally scheduled content after the madness that was last week, and I'm very happy to be back doing my regular videos. Today's video is going to be based around a beautiful miniature that was sent to me by Archvillain Games, and they are of course the sponsor of today's video, but we'll talk a little bit more about them later. When I saw the designs of these miniatures, I immediately thought of a custodian guard and how epic they look, and I thought that if that's what my brain wants to go to, then that's where I'm going to go with this miniature. So I'm going to paint this guy up to match in with my custodian guard. So in this video I'm going to show you how to paint a very quick and effective way of painting gold armor. So if you ever want to get an army of Custodes or an army of Stormcast Eternals done in a quick and timely manner, then this is the video for you. If you're interested in checking out the miniature in this video, I will leave links to Archvillain Games a month's releases down below, and you can check it out there. But like I said, I will talk a little bit more about them later on in the video. Alright guys, without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so I chose one of the Myrmidon miniatures from June's release from Archvillain Game, and this is the miniature here. So I have printed it out myself. Very easy. Their prints always come out really crisp, really smooth, so that always makes me quite happy. I got the model constructed, I sprayed it black, and then I sprayed it gold with a rattle can. Now, you can spray it black and then use a brush to apply some gold. That's totally up to you, but for my method of doing fast gold, a can of the Retributor Armour spray goes a long way. If you're painting a Custodes or a Stormcast Eternal army, this will save you hours of time just by grabbing yourself a little can of spray. I know it's expensive, it's €20 a can or whatever. I know that's a bit much, but for the time it will save you and the heartache and how much you will get done in such a short period of time, I think it's worth it. From there, I'm going to apply Reikland Fleshshade all over the entire gold. Reikland Fleshshade or Seraphim Sepia are my favorite shades to put over gold, but for this particular gold tone that I'm after, Reikland Fleshshade is the one I'm going to choose. It's going to give me a really nice kind of rich aged gold look, which, like I said, in my head this guy is similar to a custodian guard, so his armor is probably quite ancient, quite old. Whether it's a relic of an old war or whether this guy lives for a long time, that's up to you. You can see the stunning result that I got from the shade there. After that, all we're going to do is move over to Leadbelcher and dry brush the entire miniature with that as well. And that's pretty much the gold surface of this miniature done. Now all we got to do is go in and start tackling all of those details, and contrast is going to be your friend with this stage as well. As you can see, the gold armor is looking pretty slick. I'm already super happy with this, but I definitely want to break up the gold a little bit, so I grab my black Templar and I just go for all of these soft seal armor, all the soft seal I don't know what it's called, undersuit parts of the miniature. So basically in my head he's wearing like combat fatigues underneath kind of thing, and then he's got all his armor bolted on top. So he's got this layer of softer armor, and for that I'm just going to do that with the black Templar contrast. Get in there, all the nooks and crannies, all the bits that are separate, and paint that in. It's going to really help break up the gold. From there we're going to pop that little touch of color, and there's nothing in my mind that goes better with golds than red. Purple goes pretty good too, but I really like red. It's what I've done for both my Stormcast and my Custodian Guard. So basically painted the same army twice, just for different game systems. So I applied this to his tassels. Someone will correct me as to what those Roman skirt thingies are called. I think they're tassels. His plume, and then his cape. While I'm waiting for that contrast to dry, I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about this week's sponsor, Archvillain Games. Archvillain Games is for sure not a new person on the block when it comes to creating beautiful 3D sculpts for you to print out at home. They are, however, slightly newer to the sci-fi side of things. They are more commonly known for the absolutely stunning fantasy miniatures they produce. But having said that, this is now their 8th month of releases for high quality sci-fi miniatures on their Patreon. As you can see, they're absolutely stunning. They usually go for a wide variety of sized miniatures in each month, which makes me very happy, going from 75 to 50mm with the Myrmidons all the way down to the smaller base infantry. And having that wide selection of miniatures always makes it really good for using these miniatures as stand-ins for other things. Like I said, today I'm considering using them for Custodian Guard, but that's just me. If you are interested in checking out their releases, you can either go down below, which will take you straight to this month's releases, or we'll put a link to their My Manufacturer if you want to have a gander at some of their old stunning releases. So So once again, thank you to Archvillain Games for sponsoring this video. Okay, so with the contrast nice and dry, we're going to go in and add a little bit of Leadbelcher for some of the other details. So obviously I know we dry brush the miniature with Leadbelcher, but like the blade on his big energy spear, we want to make that nice and silver. There's not too many other details on this particular sculpt. This Myrmidon here is mostly gold, but there are definitely other miniatures in this month's releases that will require a little bit of attention with the Leadbelcher. So just take your time, look over the miniature when you're painting it, and kind of note any pieces you think should be silver. At this time, I did throw a little bit of basing material on and clean up the rim of the base. Like I said, as this guy's going into my Custodian Guard army, I'm going to base him the same, which is a Martian scheme. As you can see, this really sets off the model nicely. It's really starting to come together. I jumped over to a pure bold titanium white, and this is for any of the areas of the miniature that I want to glow. So the kind of plasma coils on his spear, and then I went up and highlighted all of the smoke plume, because I'm going to throw contrast over that to shift its tone and make it look nice and cool. And I'm also going to paint in the eye lenses of the helmets in that pure white as well, so that I can throw the same contrast that I'm going to do for the energy straight on top, and it will give me a beautiful glowing eye effect with very little work. The color of choice I chose was Talassar Blue. My head plasma is 90% blue, and like I said, I think it really sets off the gold really nicely. So quick coat of that over those white areas, and of course in his eye lenses, I suppose you want them in both. He's not a pirate custodian after all. As you see, taking my time, fine pointed brush and just feeding it into the eye lens, and it definitely gives a stunning result with very little effort. From here, we're going to move over to Basilicanum Grey. This is the color of choice that I went for the smoke plume. Now when this dried, I did grab some Mechanicus Standard Grey and layer up those smoke plumes again, just to make them look a little bit crisper and a little bit nicer. Evil Sun Scarlet was the color of choice that I went for, highlighting all of the red on this miniature. So like I said, his little skirt dressy bits, the plume on his war helmet, I gave him a tassel on his spear, and of course his cape on his back are all going to get highlighted with this color. And as you can see, I'm not going crazy. I definitely want to keep that dark, rich red in all the recesses. Model is looking fantastic. I'm super pleased with how this guy turned out. I added a little bit of silver highlighting along the edges of the blade to make it look like sharp energy weapon again. And that left me with this final result after I dry brush up the base a little bit. Like I said, I am a big fan of all 8 months of their releases. My favorite one, of course, being the big robot I did for my Death Corps of Krieg, but this definitely sits in the number 2 slot. I absolutely love how it turned out, and I think I'm definitely going to print off the rest of the squad of the Myrmidons and get them painted up as well. Okay guys, a finished model from Hela's Eternal Warcry Warband from Archvillain Games this month. I had an absolute blast painting this miniature up. As you know, I have done a video for Archvillain Games for every single month of their sci-fi release so far, and I think this guy is right up there as my second favorite miniature I've done for them all time. The Iron Duke big robot I did for my Krieg will definitely always stand out as the best one for me. It's just such a cool thing. But this, I think, sits in a nice, comfortable second position. I can't wait to print out more of these and add them into my collection. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already a member, you crazy person. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. And if you like my content and want even more, my Patreons get an extra video every single week. So that's 52 extra videos a year. So if you're interested in getting involved in that, plus a private Discord server, there's links to my Patreon below. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.